What is important with regards to the tools that are coming up today on the call? It's great. All those questions is great and awesome, actually. But it's to get clarity on the underlying principles of the tools. So when we understand the principle of how something works, then it's a no-brainer how to use the tools, and we can adapt very easily to our personal preference with the tools. And this is what's missing with most systems on the market, or yeah, if not all of them, not really all, but most. It's like there isn't enough attention to the underlying principles of the tools. So people talk about to-do lists and email folders and systems and calendars and Evernotes and all of that stuff, which is great, but we need to learn to see how it really works for the tool to be increasing our capacity. A lot of tools decreases people's capacity because the brain gets disturbed from the tool versus relieved from the tool. So one important distinction, and that's the absolute key to effective email. So Jonas, you might listen up a little extra and I'll let you respond in a while. It's to separate the collection of some things from the reminders of something. So collection is a distinct phenomena. It's used distinct tools for collecting information that comes our way. We have the voicemail on our phone, we have the text messages on our phone, we have a mailbox at home, and we have the mailbox for the email. That tool is for collecting information, so we don't need to get disturbed in the moment, right? The voicemail on our phones, if we still use it, is meant to be collecting information, so I don't need to have the phone on all the time, right? It's a no-brainer, of course. I turn the phone off, everything is collected that people want to give to me in the voicemail or in the text, right? It's meant to not disturb me all the time, but collect information until I choose to look at it. The email is the same, right? The email inbox is a resting place for information that people want me to have, and it's meant to rest there until I choose to look at it without being disturbed. That's the point of an email inbox. So turn off all signals, don't look at your inbox and collection place until you have time to clarify it and create reminders of anything that you can't do in the moment in 2 minutes as you empty it. This is also in week 3 or 4, I think, in the program later. So when collection is separate and my reminders is separate, the brain is really relieved, because when I look at my reminders, there's no new stuff that surprises me. It's what I already thought through, and I can act. And when I look at my collection buckets, I know I shouldn't act on anything that takes more than 2 minutes. I should clarify what's next and create reminders. So the super easy way to look at email management is to separate 3 things from each other. And when you get that principle, emails clears up instantly. The collection is one function of email, and it's the inbox. But what should never be in the inbox is any archived information you already looked at. That should be taken out of the inbox and put in some other folder, because you don't want to see that every time you look in your inbox, right? So you basically create folders and subfolders. That's what people do. I have one and one only archive folders. So anything I want to take out of the inbox is archived, so I never need to look at it unless I need that information specifically. And then it's the reminders of things to do that showed up in the inbox, but they'll take more than 2 minutes to do when I empty the inbox, so I need to be reminded to do it later. And I got reminders in 2 places for my stuff that came in through mail, either my calendar. So I open a mail and say, wow, this takes more than 2 minutes to do. I better schedule half an hour to do it. And I drag the mail and drop it onto my calendar and set a time for it. It's out of the inbox. I now have a reminder of trust. Or I have a folder of things to do from the email and stuff that takes more than 2 minutes. I just take the mail and drop it in the to-do folder. And then the inbox gets to empty. And then I only work from the to-do folder or the calendar with stuff that came through the mail. All this is explained in detail in week, I forget now, 3 or 4, or a bit of both actually, But the key really is to not have any reminders of things I need to do with the new incoming stuff, because the brain goes tilt when it looks at mails it's seen before. Oh yeah, shit, I need to do that also. Oh, here's a new mail. Oh, I need to do that. I saw it yesterday. Oh, a new mail. Oh, that was 3 days ago. I saw that. You don't want your brain to do that. New mail should only be new mail, and reminders should only be reminders. If you get those two separated, your brain goes, thank you. Now I can relax.